right. First psychological video. First psychological video. I'm just gonna have some gameplay on the screen here while I talk about this. This is gonna be kind of theme for my channel for psychological videos at least. While I talk about something that's not really technical analysis, I'll just have a gameplay up on screen. Um. Anyway, let's just get right into the video. So, why do 99% of day traders fail? Well, it's because of, well, it's not because they're dumb. Let's just get down the table. You're not, they're not dumb. They're not, lacking anything up here. It's just the fact that they don't really realize that they are, and most likely you watching this, you are the target liquidity when you are trading. Now, what do I mean by this? Is that 99% of traders are retail. That's just how it is. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a study that says, or I think ICT's even said this, for every ICT trader there's been, for every ICT trader there's 5 retail traders. That's a lot of retail traders for how many ICT traders there are. So 99% of retail traders don't realize that they are literally the liquidity, and liquidity is something that price literally hunts for. That's like the whole idea of liquidity sweeps and all that shit for ICT. It's really this. It's like the definition. It's really going for retail traders and patterns and stop losses. So if you're trading, with a retail pattern or a retail strategy, then that's why you're losing, because you are literally the target for this shit. And it's all about, it's literally basically about how you perceive the market. Some people believe ICT shit doesn't work. Some people believe that support and resistance is the thing that makes the most sense. Some people think patterns and breakouts and trend lines. It don't matter what the fuck you trade. If you trade something and it profitably gives you results, then that's great. But you have to realize that there's been time and time again of just evidence that ICT does work. SMC does work, because it literally does. I mean, it shows through dozens of ICT traders who have made millions of dollars trading it every day live, right? They literally, it's just so fucking obvious, right? But yeah, the market doesn't move randomly. It literally moves towards liquidity. And if you are emotional and undisciplined and you're just chasing the moves, you are the liquidity. You're literally the liquidity. That's why you're getting stopped out, because the price is literally hunting you out. That's the whole idea of like liquidity sweeps. So that's the first thing. And the second thing I'm gonna say is like the biggest lie that retail traders believe, and if you're new at trading, you probably also believe this, that the market is, random or unfair or manipulated or just unpredictable, etc. Even though it kind of is unpredictable, but not more than it's not. You can clearly see and tell where price is going to go eventually. But the thing that retail traders do that makes them liquidity is they just chase breakouts. They get FOMO from just random moves that don't even have any like value to them and just have no reasoning for it. They move their stop losses emotionally. They put their stop loss where everybody else is, and that's why they get stopped out so much. Like, have you ever noticed how when you get stopped out, price literally goes in the direction you want it to? That's called a liquidity sweep, dog. Trading against the higher time frame bias. I can go on and on for everything retail traders do wrong, and that's why you lose. And the 99% of traders why they lose. I can really go for list for list for list for list. Do that all day, and it all just comes down to control. If you I could list it all for dozens, hundreds of times, but it all comes down to self control. If you just have self control, that fixes like 90% of problems. You won't have FOMO, you won't overtrade, you won't over risk. You'll trade your model if you just have self control. That's literally the secret to trading, in my opinion. If you just have some self control and follow a checklist every single day, that's how you're profitable. And if you don't do that, well, what do you think price is going to do? It's going to run your stops. You are the liquidity. And then, yeah, so. Now, what do I mean by you're the target? I don't mean like there's some market villain that's running market at Wall Street. You're not like some, valuable target in the markets. Like, the markets give a shit about you, and that's not what I mean either. When I mean target for trading, it it's your behavior that's the target, right? All the things I just listed, that is making you the target. And if like for example, let me just put this in, more of a scenario here. If 90% of traders put their stop loss, right? Say they're going long and they put their stop loss underneath the same swing low, 90% of them, right? Well, where do you think price is going to go first? Exactly, right? Because liquidity, it's like that's like the whole reason, like this the statistic of 99% of traders fail, and that's the reason why ICT concepts work. It's literally evidence it does, because the reason why liquidity sweeps even work is because that's the 99% or the 90%, whatever the stat is, 90%, 99% of traders, like retail traders, are the liquidity. That's literally the whole reason why. If there wasn't those retail traders, then there wouldn't be liquidity sweeps. There wouldn't be any of that, because that's just how like liquidity sweeps work. Liquidity isn't random. It's literally the fuel for the market mostly. I know I said rebalance inefficiencies and equilibrium. My opinion, I think the main thing that fuels the market is liquidity. So if you are liquidity, you're just gonna get stopped out. That's just how it is. Oh man. But I can tell you what you should do to fix this, and to not be part of the 99% statistic. And it's working and, behaving like the 1%. If you work like the 1%, you're telling me you're not going to be as successful as the 1%? That's just not how that works. The 1% trade with a plan. They journal, they back test, they track what works, what doesn't work. They have a fixed risk, all that, right? That's what they do. It's just those simple fucking things will make you profitable. And it's so weird how, because trading's a weird thing. It sounds so simple, but it's not easy to follow. I can give you that. It's not really easy to follow, because we're emotional beings. We literally don't. We act on emotion. Even if you have the most like just checklist of a strategy, you are human. I'm human. You will fuck up. There's no such thing as a emotionless human. I don't care how flawless you think you are. You can be the most emotionless robotic trader. There will be emotion at some point, even if it's one trade. That's it. That you weren't flawless, because we're not robots. We have emotional thing. We have the emotional part of us. We're humans. It's really impossible to avoid. It's just biology. But what do I know? That's all I can really think of, to be honest, man. I would say, mainly, if we want to go into more technicals about trading, I know I just said more psychological things, like, don't over risk, don't create FOMO, follow your plan. More like technical things you can start doing is like trading with a bias, risk a fixed percent, accept your losses, take only A plus setups, wait for liquidity sweeps, like all like that. I'm gonna go through all that and eventually in another video. Like I will teach, ICT concepts, strategy videos. I'll give you, the pieces that you need to be profitable. At least to as profitable as I am, because I believe I am profitable. I just don't believe I'm consistently profitable yet. I think that's another thing too. I think a lot of people are profitable. You're probably profitable watching this, even if you're a few months deep. Like I was profitable when I first started, or not first started, when I first learned a strategy. Like it was a profitable strategy. I just wasn't consistent with it, and that's why I wasn't consistently profitable. I was profitable. I just wasn't consistently profitable. But I think the main thing the main thing you can tell yourself is you need to be boring. Trading's not supposed to be fun. Trading's supposed to be boring. If once trading becomes boring, I think that's a popular saying. Once trading becomes boring, that's when you succeed. Once you are bored. Shit, when I get on in the morning, I'm bored. I don't really want to sit there. I'll be on my phone. I'll be playing a game like that. You literally just can't sit there and just watch, because I'm bored. And the boring traders are the one that survives. Watch an ICT video. Tell me that's not the most boring shit on the planet. Why do you think he's so damn successful at trading? It's because he's fucking boring. He probably hates trading, to be honest. But anyway, so a more personal angle, coming from me, I've posted only like 3 trade recaps so far, and I've lost money. Shit, I've lost a lot. I think I've lost more trades in February this month than wins. Like And it all becomes from rule breaks, mostly. Like, I think there's, like, I think I said this in a few trade recaps ago. I took 4 losses this month. And I think one of them was the only one I should have taken the loss. So I should have saved myself thousands of dollars. Each one of those losses was like $1,200. Like, that's thousands of dollars I would have been up by now, and that's just because of how, like, I'm profitable. Like, again, if these losses didn't happen, I'd be up, like, I don't know, I think I would be roughly, I don't want to say it because I don't have any proof of it. I'd be up at least, I'll just say minimum 3K, right? And it's because I'm not consistently profitable. My edge works. I'm confident in that shit. But it's because I get FOMO and I trade against the bias and rule breaks. That's all I can say. And that's not, and again, it's not market manipulation. It's just lack of discipline. The market doesn't give a shit about you. It's not manipulate. It's like the market doesn't even know you exist. Market and the Nasdaq, if you're trading futures, like, it moves millions or maybe even billions of dollars a day. You really think you're fucking little ass profit right now? It's like not even making a difference. It's not even real. It's not even real money. The market doesn't even know you exist. So no, it's not coming for you. That's dumb. But if you're losing, this is the one takeaway before I close this video off. The one thing I want to tell you, tell you is, if you're losing, I want you to ask yourself one thing: are you being hunted, or are you hunting liquidity? Now that sounds really corny, but genuinely, are you, like, once you start hunting the liquidity, because that's something that helped me. Once you start actually hunting for and like going for where price is going, just learning that. And for ICT and SMC sakes, that's literally just liquidity, inefficiencies, and equilibrium. Draw on liquidity, in fact. And I will make a video on that because it's a really important topic. If you just know the draw on liquidity, you won't be hunted anymore. You'll have less stops because you're not the liquidity anymore. That's the simplest shit. You're not being hunted anymore. You're hunting the liquidity. Because the market doesn't care about your dreams. The market doesn't care about all the money you want to make, all the cars you want to own. The market doesn't give a shit about any of that. It doesn't care. It's going to move how it moves. And if you can't succumb to the market's decision every day, then you're going to not make money. Because the market's going to do shit you don't like every day. And you just have to adapt. The market constantly is changing and evolving. It's just how you need to trade. You just need to be on your shit and learn how price moves. And hunt with price. Think about it, like, too, it's like people who, I see this argument too from people who just don't know shit about trading. I'm not beating the banks and institutions with ICT concepts. You really think my ass is gonna beat Wall Street and all these quants at fucking all these who graduated from all these crazy ass colleges with financial degrees? You think I'm gonna beat them in all their algorithms and shit with a fucking liquidity sweep? Like, no. ICT, in my opinion, is kind of the ghetto version of trading. Like, to be honest, ICT concepts, in my opinion, it's not really professional, even though you can make a fuck ton of money with it. It's kind of ghetto because you're literally trading shit. You're just trying to catch a little move. I'm just catching little moves. If you look at my trade recaps, dude, I'm just little moves. I'm not catching the whole wave. You need to hunt with price. Like, the big ass and institutions and shit, they're moving price. Just go with them. Stop trying to fade it. I'm not fading Wall Street. I'm not trying to fade Wall Street with a fair value gap and a liquidity sweep. That's just not going to happen. You need to just trade with the trend. The trend is, like, the institutions and markets. Like, all that momentum you see, that's them. And just trade with them. And you'll win. That's it. That's literally it. My camera. Because at the end of it all, the market rewards discipline and punishes emotion. That's a really good saying. I would also let you know is just, it will reward discipline and it will punish emotion. And that's why 99% fun. So, from all the shit I've told you about this video, you should be able to start working being the 1%. And there's literally no reason not to, because if you're not trying to be the 1%, you're never going to be the 1%. You're not just going to magically become the 1%. And like, you're not gonna come into this shit, oh, I'm gonna become rich as hell fast. Because that's what I did when I first got into trading, and I learned a strategy from my first mentor. I was like, oh, dude, this is so light. Why are people struggling with this? I'm gonna be a millionaire in like a year. Like, I literally was telling people in high school I was gonna be a millionaire, and like at 18, and I'm 18 right now, and I'm not a millionaire because it's not that simple. Uh, but that's really it. That's all I really got to say for the psychological video. Next video I hopefully post, if it's not a trade recap, it'll be a technical analysis video. I'll probably teach like some sort of concept and start building on that, you know. Because yeah, this is a teaching channel. I will be teaching as much as I know, as well as like grow, like everything I learn, everything I already currently know, I will be documenting on this channel. So, like, subscribe, do all that shit if you want to. Whatever, man. Just do what you gotta do. See ya.